What if the most important technology company in your life is one you've never heard of? What if the processor inside your phone, your laptop, your car, was built on a design that might soon lose its dominance? And what if a single acquisition, quietly announced, just forced Wall Street to ask an uncomfortable question? Is ARM losing its grip on the future of computing? This video isn't about what already happened. It's about something far more dangerous. What could happen next? No matter where you live in the world, if you want calm, deep analysis on technology, markets, and power shifts, subscribe to the channel. Now, let's continue. ARM doesn't manufacture chips. It doesn't sell phones. It doesn't build laptops. Yet almost every mobile device on Earth depends on it. ARM designs instruction set architectures, the fundamental language chips speak. For decades, ARM perfected a simple but powerful business model. License the architecture, collect royalties, and, stay neutral. Apple, Qualcomm, Samsung, Nvidia, everyone played by ARM's rules, and for a long time, there was no alternative. Technology monopolies rarely collapse overnight. They erode. Mainframes didn't vanish. PCs replaced them. PCs didn't disappear. Smartphones reshaped computing. Each shift created new winners and weakened old control points. ARM survived many transitions, but this one is different because this time, the challenge isn't a new chip. It's a new philosophy. RISC-V is open. There are no royalties, no licensing pressure, and no single owner. For years, it was ignored. Too fragmented, too immature, too risky. But, AI workloads changed priorities. Customization now matters more than compatibility. Efficiency matters more than legacy. And suddenly, RISC-V wasn't weak anymore. It was flexible. When Qualcomm acquired Ventana Micro Systems, the stock market reacted instantly. ARM shares fell. Billions in market value disappeared. Not because Qualcomm abandoned ARM, but because Qualcomm added an option. Ventana specializes in high-performance RISC-V CPUs, data centers, AI workloads, server-class designs. This wasn't a side project. It was a signal. Markets don't price today, they price future leverage. And leverage might be shifting. Investors fear one thing above all else: loss of control. ARM's power comes from dependence. If even one major customer reduces that dependence, the entire valuation logic changes. Not collapse, but compression. And markets always move before certainty arrives. So, let's talk about the bull case. Why ARM could still win. ARM still dominates in mobile devices, embedded systems, automotive, and the Internet of Things. Apple remains deeply tied to ARM, and Nvidia still licenses heavily. Now, on the flip side, RISC-V adoption may take, about a decade to really mature. ARM doesn't need to win everything, it just needs to stay essential. Here's the bear case, the slow erosion risk. RISC-V doesn't need to replace ARM completely. It only needs to reduce royalty dependence, give customers leverage, and shift negotiation power. ARM's margins rely on scarcity, but open architectures, destroy that scarcity. ARM sells permission, while Qualcomm sells products. Qualcomm controls silicon modems, AI accelerators, and platforms. ARM, on the other hand, depends on others choosing its language. In periods of uncertainty, companies with optionality, really tend to outperform. Qualcomm isn't betting against ARM, it's betting beyond ARM. What if, RISC-V actually becomes standard in AI servers? What if hyperscalers start demanding open designs? And what if, governments begin to push for open architectures? ARM still exists, but honestly, the rules change. The toll booth becomes negotiable. And history shows, markets reward those who adapt first. This story isn't really about ARM failing, it's about, well, power redistribution. Technology doesn't just remove kings overnight, it slowly weakens their borders. So, the real question isn't, will ARM disappear? It's this. When the next era of computing is written, who will be allowed to decide the rules? And more importantly, will investors recognize the shift before it becomes obvious?